I guess, Jenny, do you want to discuss your story, your personal story about January 6th?
Sure. So my name is Jenny Cudd. I got married after January 6th, so that's been kind of confusing for a lot of people. But now that I've received a full presidential pardon, I'll be legally changing my last name to my married name, which is McCombs. But I'm a January 6th defendant. I was number 68 to be arrested out of 1,600. And I was arrested 1 week after the Capitol. So, just to kind of summarize my experience, I went inside the West Terrace door, which was opened by police officers, and they were motioning people inside, which is called entrapment. And I was inside the Capitol for about 19 minutes until I was in the hallway above where Ashley Babbitt was murdered by Capitol Police Officer Lieutenant Michael Byrd. And people were coming out with blood on their hands saying they killed a girl. And I thought, well, things are starting to take a turn, so I should probably exit. And so I exited out the east side of the Capitol, past police officers through an open door just like I'd come in. And I was ultimately charged with 4 misdemeanors and the 1512 felony. I was looking at 20 years in prison, and I took a plea deal from the government, offered me to plead to a Class A misdemeanor for trespassing. And then just to kind of wrap all of that up, in March of 22, I was sentenced to 2 months federal probation and a fine. And I don't know why I have one of the lightest sentences of all of the January 6th defendants. But I guess that's all God business.
There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I personally would want the shortest amount of punishment as possible myself, if it was for me.
Absolutely.
Did it affect your personal, or how you, like, if you go to Walmart or somewhere like that, do you feel like people look at you differently now?
When it first happened, it was horrifying. I had done a 27-minute long Facebook Live video that night of January 6th, and somebody took a 1-minute clip out where I had especially bombastic language, and they put it on Twitter, and that got 7 million views in 2 days. And so there were 1,200 tips to the FBI about me. In a matter of hours, there were over 1,000 one-star reviews on my previous business. And to Google's credit, they took those down because it was such unusual activity. But that didn't stop all of the wackos from, continuing to leave reviews, even to this day. And I sold that business a year and a half ago. And so, yeah, as far as the effects of January 6th, looking over my shoulder for the first time ever, being publicly humiliated, the different comments and hate mail and death threats, and people random strangers texting my home address to me and telling me that they're going to be there. All of that stuff happened. And I'm glad that now, as of a year and a half ago, I live in a different town in Texas and have a new last name and kind of have a blank slate, so that's really nice. But that hasn't happened for a whole lot of January 6th defendants.
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of them that are probably just getting out and stuff like that, they're definitely going to have to still have that battle to wage.